Okay, how's it going, guys?
Doing all right.
Not bad.
Yep. Everyone's
Recovering.
home for
You
summer.
you you
Back
recovered,
home.
Max, from
I
in game. You're all good.
I think I'm recovered. Yeah,
I knew when he sent that Tony Stark video, he was recovered.
that was
Yeah, he's
ruined
he
that.
can laugh at it now.
That ruined that for me. It was funny though. It's
Dude,
so
and then
funny.
it's him like dancing in heaven. My favorite part, I was
Oh yeah,
dying at
that's
the
so funny.
Thanos. Thanos is
I
just like staring.
I love when he goes, "Y'all mind if I snap?" And then the
Yeah,
explosion sound
yeah.
effect. Oh man, it kills me.
All right. So this is just gonna be a regular episode of us reviewing the past week in music, TV shows, and movies. Not really an intro. We can just get into it. I'd say a decent amount of news is happening stuff. So on the music side of things, first, Vampire Weekend released a new album. Do you guys listen to Vampire Weekend that much?
No, but I know they have that
I
one
was to say
song
I don't
like
either.
in every movie trailer ever.
Yeah, the one A Punk. Yeah. Um,
Yes.
yeah, they're really good. Their new album was called Father of the Bride. I really liked it. They're still like staying true to like what makes them a good band. They're not selling out at all, which they
Mhm.
could easily just become like poppy and stuff, but they're still very like psychedelic rock, kind of stuff like that. But I really like their new album. I know they're coming in concert too. They're going on a tour, so I'm looking forward to that.
That could be a fun
Um,
concert.
yeah, for sure. I'd recommend them. They're pretty lighthearted music.
Are they
The
like an Arctic Monkeys kind of band?
yeah, I'd compare them to like Arctic Monkeys. They remind me a little bit of like Tame Impala. I don't know. They're kind of their own sound.
Mm.
Um, I don't really know who to compare them to, but yeah, just kind of their own sound. They're just alternative, kind of lighthearted rock. They're very much like a summer band, which I really think a lot of like album releases and stuff, like the time of the year, I really think has a good deal to do with that. And I think
Mm.
their album will definitely be like a summer album, like just
Mm.
kind of one of those albums you listen to when it's like warm and sunny.
I'll have to give it a listen then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure. It's
sure.
called Father of the Bride. I was thinking I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10. It's not like their
Pretty
best
good.
album, but it's like, I mean, it's definitely pretty solid. There's no really
Just
bad.
fun.
A 3.
Yeah, they do a really good job with background vocals on it. Like they brought in a girl. I don't know a lot about the band. I just listen to their music. I don't know if she's an actual member of the band or not, but they have a lot of like woman background vocals like behind their lead singer, and it sounds really good on it.
Mhm.
But yeah. So next is Schoolboy Q's album, which I kind of just like forced myself to listen to.
I was gonna say I've not heard of him
Podcast.
in years, man. It's
So
been a
my whole
while.
thing, and I watched a couple reviews because I thought this. I'm like, maybe I'm going crazy, but like, I like Schoolboy Q, like as a person. Like his whole story of like he was working on his original album, like Oxymoron, when he was like homeless and like taking care of his daughter. Like I think
Mhm.
that's really cool, and like Oxymoron was like a great album, and he was
I was
very
gonna say
up and
that's the one that I
coming.
remember.
Yeah, it had like Studio, Man of the Year, and all
Mm-hmm.
those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What's
Collard
his
Greens,
popular song?
his most popular,
Yeah.
probably Man of the Year, Collard Greens, and then he had on
Yeah,
his
it's
next
probably
album.
one of the.
Yeah, on his next album he had what's the Kanye song? I'm blanking. Um, now I have to look this up. Hang on.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Someone stall.
picture the person.
One, if
That
you saw
part.
the album
That part
cover,
is what it's called. That's the one where Kanye's like, "Wifey gonna kill me. She the female OJ." It's
I've probably heard
Kanye's got
that.
a great verse on it. Yeah, it's a big like party song. But what I thought, and I think this is his third album. He kind of like, and like the reviews were saying this too. He's just kind of gotten worse, like as he's gone on. Like his first album was really promising, and I remember like he was getting Kendrick Lamar comparisons, and I was like, okay, let's hold it there a little bit. Like it's a pretty good album. And then Blank Face, which was the second one, and then this one, Crash Talk. I'm listening, and I'm like, this guy has no idea like what kind of artist he wants to be, because like he tries to be like a hardcore rapper, and like I don't know, dude. I don't know if he's going for more like the Eminem side of rap, the Kendrick side of rap, like the Kanye side of rap. It feels very jumbled, and like what I really like, which is why I don't really like new rap albums. I kind of like 2000s rap albums. Is I like albums that flow together because nowadays I think it's just kind of a bunch of singles, like 15 singles put on one album. I think Drake does a big part in that. Just kind of put a bunch of singles on an album and hope like it's whatever. But I really miss where artists would kind of like tell a story with an album.
Yeah.
And he does not do that at all. Like the first album was all about him being like poor and in poverty. And I'm like, okay. And then this is just kind of like he's going into that basic, just like drugs, money, sex, like on every song. It's just like, okay.
I think with Drake, you know, he just constantly has like so many hits though. So it's like he's just got to throw them all in because he feels like he has to. But yeah,
that's what, like, I listen to Drake, and there's times where I don't even consider Drake like a rapper. Like, I kind of feel like he's just a maker. Like, I've had this conversation with people. Like, he seems poppy sometimes. He seems like, and nothing against him. Like, he's made a ton of money doing it, but like, I just don't feel like you can put him in the same genre as like Kendrick and like Jay.
I feel like he's always doing whatever's in at the time.
Yeah, he is.
He changes too much.
Yeah. And I mean, he's made a career off of it, but I would not consider him like a pure rapper.
I mean, he's fine. I like him, but yeah, he definitely just does whatever people are listening to.
Yeah, and that's like, I just feel like all the rappers nowadays, like, there's no story to an album. It's just kind of like all these songs that they made. But that's how I felt with Schoolboy Q's album. It just kind of felt like a mixtape. It felt like a young rapper, like, kind of just putting his mixtape out there. And I'm like, dude, this is your third album. Like, you're supposed to take off now, but didn't really do good on the billboards either. So poor Schoolboy.
Poor Schoolboy. Time to go back to school.
Next was the Logic and Eminem song.
I heard it.
Yeah, this is one I want to talk about.
So, dude, I really liked Under Pressure, Logic's first album. And I just, dude, I don't know. Logic I don't think he's like a good rapper. Like, I think, like, there's sometimes where I'm like, is this guy trying to be like fucking like Weird Al? Like, I don't even, like, he's not even like a real rapper sometimes.
I can totally see that.
You know what I mean? Like, he's so fucking corny. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know.
He's such a weener. Like, and he really is.
He is.
He tries so hard to be hard, and he's just not.
He's like dropping the N-word in this song. I'm like, is he even black?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, okay, dude, relax.
Yeah.
It's like he made it super apparent in the Everybody album that he is, like, I think he said it about 100 times.
Yeah. Which he's kind of like played both sides there, which, like, it's like, I don't care about your race as long as you're like a good artist. But like, I think he tried to upplay it a lot coming up, that he was like the new Eminem and he was this white rapper. And now he's really trying to be like, oh, like, I'm black and all this, like, I'm a black American.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really like kind of switch back and forth there as to whatever you think's going to sell more. But just to start it off, like, the opening line where he says, like, you know how I know you're dope, like, you came from my balls. And I was like, is this real? Like, seriously, is this like a song?
But that sounds like an Eminem thing to say. Like, because Eminem always does like a bunch of weird, and I feel like he's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna copy them.
And like, I agree, and he's definitely going for that Eminem vibe. And I know, like,
but it doesn't work.
There's a couple lines in that song where he's trying to say that he's Eminem's like protege or whatever. But like, Eminem, like, it works just because Eminem's a weird motherfucker and he's such a good writer. But I don't know. The song, Eminem's verses were okay, and then at the end they have the Chris D'Elia making fun of Eminem. Like, is Eminem just accepting that like his rap is kind of just like a jumble of like random ass words? But,
well, Nolan and I were talking about this last night. We were talking about multiple songs last night, actually. One I want to talk about in particular too. It's good lyrically, I think. It is just a terrible song though. Like, I never want to listen to it ever again. I mean, they can rap fast and they got some good play on words and stuff there, but other than that, it's a terrible song.
The problem has been with rap now too, like, and it sucks because a lot of the lyrical, and I'm not the dude that likes the mumble rap, like, whatever. I'd much prefer people who can actually rap, and it's very apparent that they're both good rappers. They both can rap. But the problem is sometimes with some of the songs that lyrical rappers make is cool, you're rapping and it sounds really nice and you can put words together and you can make a flow, your bars are nice, but the song just sucks.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of the things with music
faster.
and movies now is replay value, and that's really what it is. And this is a song like, cool, you can listen to it and maybe they say some cool things, but I'm never turning that shit on ever again. Like and that's just a fact. So even if you can rap, like it's half and half. You have to make your lyrics good, you still have to make your song good, and this one just didn't work for me.
Yeah. That's why, like, for so long, I'm like, dude, I want to hear an Eminem Kanye collab album where Kanye makes the beat. Because, like, Eminem's so good and he's such a good writer, but the beats he chooses, I'm like, this is, like, hurting my ears. Like, this.
It just depends.
It sounds like screeching. Like, some of the beats he chooses, I'm like, dude, if he had Kanye's beats and melodies and stuff with his writing, like, playing off another good rapper, it'd be awesome. But, I don't know. Since Under Pressure, Logic just hasn't done it for me. I think he's a cool person. Like I watched a documentary on him and he seems like a good guy.
Is that the cover with them like in the spaceship or whatever?
Yeah.
That's
one of his albums.
That was like the Incredible something story.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, that one was okay. His first one, Under Pressure, was the one of like it looks like a gym, isn't it, Nolan? I think I don't know. Yeah, it's like a high school gym or something. And like he has this song about like suicide, like awareness, which is like cool.
He tends to do that a lot.
And I was talking with one of my friends about it. And I think, like, it's just hard to take him seriously. Like, one song he's talking about suicide awareness, and it's like, oh, awesome. So he's, like, a social justice rapper. And then in this song, he's talking about, like, his son's dope because he comes from his balls. And I'm like, you got to kind of, like, keep it consistent here. Like, you can't say you're a social justice rapper and then in other albums or whatever kind of just rap about whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
He just doesn't really know what he is.
That just needs to be his thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool thing for him to have, and I think that's
bad.
why
he's lyrically good enough to do that. So,
yeah,
it's not that bad. The music he does with that is not bad at all.
Yeah, I was just trying to imagine that song. It's like you guys were saying, like you just don't want to listen to it again. I'm like, can you imagine like hearing that a song like at a live concert, trying to like go hard? Like you can't sing along to it. You're just sitting there like, oh damn, they rap fast.
It's like a competition to see who can rap faster.
Yeah, So, and I don't know. I think it's obvious Eminem's career is nowhere where it used to be. People try to.
Kamikaze was good.
I thought that was awesome. I liked a lot of songs on that.
There's some good ones on that.
I like Kamikaze was all right. What was the one before that?
Oh yeah, that was not good.
The one before that was really bad, and then the one before that was
Revival.
Revival was really bad. But I liked Marshall Mathers LP 2, the one that came out in like 2014 with Berserk and and all those. That had a lot of hits on it. And I don't know. I don't know with Eminem. He's kind of hit and miss, but he still can make good music, I think.
He's still a good writer, like regardless.
I mean, when he like killed Machine Gun Kelly in his diss track, like that
was awesome.
Like, Eminem's still very
literally dead.
Yeah.
One's heard from him.
Yeah, and he wrote that like very quickly. And the way like Eminem was so like methodical with it, like he talks about like he's like he didn't want to write the song because he didn't want to make him any more popular, but like he felt like he needed to, and all this. It's hilarious.
Do you know who Yellow Wolf is, Luke?
Yeah.
Did you see that he's like dissing him now too, or he did diss him?
He's dissing Eminem or MGK?
Or MGK on his new album, I believe. And he's like signed to Eminem. So all these people that are signed to Eminem are just shitting on MGK.
All the white rappers are just fucking like at war right now.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. And then next, I just noticed this the other day, but Lemonade now on all streaming platforms, dude. Album goes hard. I swear.
It's good. It's not her best.
A good album. Yeah.
I hate her with Jay-Z. I can't stand her now. She was better when she was independent. I Am Soft and Fierce. That album is so good.
Well, Jay-Z's not really on Lemonade.
I know he's not, but like
one,
ever since she's been with him,
just the influence,
like, her music and is just not as good as it used to be. I like it
more
of
like on her own. I seriously think she could be considered like a rapper now. It's like Lemonade, like the beats on that album are like rap beats, and like the Carter's album was a lot of rap.
I didn't listen to that.
Yeah. It was like all rap. Like she rapped the entire time.
And I like Jay-Z, and I like them both.
Mhm.
Like Jay-Z is like surprisingly the only artist I will actually buy on iTunes. Like that's like the only artist that I care to pay for because it's not on like Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
I like him. I just don't like them together, and I think their music since has just been shit. Like the only song buys off of Magna Carta, Holy Grail.
I think that's a big problem with like I don't know, the music industry. Like I think artists think just because they're dating or together that they should make music together.
That everything they do is
yeah. Where it's like Beyonce's a good singer. Jay-Z, in my opinion, is like a top 3 rapper of all time.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah. So, and you kind of saw it with Mac Miller and Ariana Grande. Like, I feel like people, and there's those rumors that record labels kind of like force relationships. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
All the fucking rappers stick together for me now. Who was the one that Miley Cyrus's sister was dating? Was that Lil Xan?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were dating, and apparently it was like a super forced relationship, and they made like an album together. And I don't even know if it was released, but apparently it was like dog shit.
I mean, he's trash. That wouldn't surprise
me. I like her. I don't like
her. She's good. Yeah.
She's really good.
I think the music industry is just like, oh, you guys should, if you start dating, we'd add like $5 million to your record label. Like,
yeah,
I think that's kind of how it is. But
that's what they're trying to do with Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber for tomorrow.
And they want them to date.
They want them to date now. Make more music, because I'm sure that song's going to just be a total hit.
Yeah. I'm excited for new Bieber music. I loved
his new stuff's good.
Yeah. He said he's got a new album on the way soon, so
I like when he collabs with like the EDM kind of people.
Yeah. He has a couple good collabs with like Travis Scott too. Like they sound pretty good.
He collabs with everybody. Like he can really do whoever with anybody. Yeah. So.
Dude, I used to fucking hate Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
When we were in middle school, I'm like, he's such a douche. Yeah. And then I listened to Purpose, and I'm like, damn, he's really talented. Like, I will say he surprised me. Like, a lot of those child singers, they don't keep their voice, or they don't. And he like adjusted his voice and kind of.
I was gonna say he's adapted.
Well, sure. Yeah.
Well, he fell off for a little bit. He was going weird. Now he's fine now. Yeah.
And he got married to Alec Baldwin's niece.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that who that is?
Yeah, dude, it's Stephen Baldwin's daughter.
That's insane.
Alec Baldwin's little brother. Yeah. I don't know. One of the Baldwin brothers, the one that's like the huge Trump supporter who had a falling out with Alec because of the SNL impressions. Of course. I don't know if it's her dad, but yeah, there's been some funny stuff in the news about that. Like they've been like tweeting at each other and stuff, like two grown brothers. But yeah, so we can move on now to TV shows.
Also, can I just mention real quick, like Earth by Little Dicky.
Oh yeah,
sucks. Okay, any of you out there that say that's a good song, you're just wrong, and it's objective. Okay, I saw that Leonardo DiCaprio's name was attached to this. I went, oh, this must be good, and I watched the music video, and then I listened to it. It blows. Okay, it makes the world look like a terrible place. Any alien that listens to that song will go, that place needs to be obliterated.
Okay, I agree with that. I thought you liked it, Max. I thought you had a tweet where you said it was like good or something.
No, I said I was cheering for the global warming because it was just terrible.
Oh, I think I was fucked up when I was reading it or something. But I was like, why would Max like this song? Because I was listening to it. Dude, I listened to the first half because it's long as shit, first of all. It's way too long. And I'm like, this is so bad. And I don't dislike Lil Dicky. Like, he has a couple good songs. Like, he's
okay. I don't
really care. Yeah, I think he wanted it to be like a We Are the World thing. And
that's the kind of vibe that I got.
What? No, I listened to half of it. I listened to that song right after.
I listened to half of it and I turned it off. I couldn't get through it. I got through like a verse and a half and turned that shit off.
It was bad, dude.
Yeah, and
the writing was bad. It didn't even fucking rhyme. It was just a jumble.
Which is weird because normally he does. Like, I don't love Little Dicky, but normally he is okay when it comes to stuff like that. He's a creator, like, nonetheless. But
the only thing we talked about were animals. That's not the only thing on Earth, okay? Talk about global warming.
Fuck them animals.
Yeah. What about the biomes of the world, okay? That song sucks. And you know what? No music will be the same until we hear DJ Khaled's intro on the new Aladdin song. Music won't be the same until
dude.
then.
When I saw that, I thought that was like a parody account. Like I thought it was like Barry Cochran.
God.
Like I was,
Pitbull will be there,
dude. Oh my gosh! If I hear a DJ Khaled like yell in the Aladdin movie, I will lose my mind. Please, what is Will Smith thinking, dude? Oh man, yeah, not good, not good. Yeah. I forgot about that. So, yeah, TV shows. Game of Thrones finale season has 2 episodes left. I'm not a fan of the season so far, but
that's what I've heard.
The season's kind of one story, so I'm going to wait for it to be over. I trust the writers. A lot of my friends are panicking, like, this is what we've been, like, waiting for, all this. I'm like, okay, the writers have dedicated, like, 10 years of their life to this. Like, I trust them, but it has not been good so far. Like, it hasn't been a Game of Thrones season. I think their mistake is just, like, they're like, well, it's going to be 6 episodes. Like, each episode's an hour and a half. Like, but all their other seasons were 12 episodes with just the regular, like, 50 minutes to an hour. I don't know. I think they wanted this big, grandiose thing. Like, they were all movies and everything. And it's just, like, it's TV show for a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
I saw the most recent episode. I actually watched it because I was at somebody's house and they had it on. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like it. There were a lot of plot holes.
It's kind of boring.
Yeah, and it was very boring. Like, it wasn't like – I know people say some episodes where there isn't action or boring, and I kind of like those because, like, 2 episodes ago, it was the only Game of Thrones episode where, like, no one died, but there were a lot of really good character conversations and, like, realizations.
The continuity.
Yeah, and the last episode had action, but, like, you know what I mean, Nolan? Like, the action was kind of boring.
Because I don't want to spoil it, and obviously I don't know the rest of the show, but there's something that happens where, because the people that I was watching it with have seen all of it. So when the thing happened where you know what I'm talking about, the thing dies, I was just like, what the fuck? That was so quick.
Unhyped.
Like, that was so
It was
not
so
epic.
unhyped, dude.
Yeah, like, it came out of nowhere.
It was like, because it was unhyped. And that whole thing, I'm like, she has this whole fleet of ships who just don't fucking see an entire army.
Oh yeah, I know. They just the camera pans around the rock and there's everybody. Like
there's like 40 ships over there. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. You didn't hear that shit coming. Like, honestly, the big ass fucking arrows flying through the sky.
And there used to only be one of those arrows because apparently it was like a really hard thing to like create. And then like every fucking
that ship's got like 45.
Yeah, dude. So yeah. I don't know. A lot of plot holes. It's the classic final season of things where they're just moving through the entire country at like record pace. Like
there were so
army
many
across the entire map in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the show, so again, I don't know. This is totally from the outside looking in, but there were so many scenes where they were like, all right, we need to go here. And then they'd be all around the table. Yeah. All right, we need to go here. And then they'd be around the table.
Well, that's what was great.
This is the new plan.
The series starts off with Ned going with Robert from Winterfell back to King's Landing to become his new hand. And just for them to get to King's Landing takes like 4 episodes.
It took 10
which
minutes.
Is cool. Yeah. And then like in
this episode.
So, and I understand you can't do that completely, but I don't know. It's like.
Then don't do 6 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that kind of goes hand in hand with like, they announced there were 3 spinoffs in development, which I hate. I'm fine with 1 spinoff, but this just seems like the classic, like, just,
milk the cow.
Pumping it. Yeah, exactly. Like, just fucking wanting more and more. And there are a lot of cool stories that they could do. And
the executives are like, not yet.
We fucking need more. And dude, you saw it with Harry Potter. You're seeing it with Walking Dead. Like, when you're just, like, milking it and you're like, we need as much as possible, it ruins it. Like, I don't know.
That's my problem with the MCU. I feel like they're just going to end on a bad note. They're not going to stop until it's bad.
Yeah, or the fact that every week Star Wars is like, well, we've got a new director with a new trilogy. I'm like, holy shit.
Nobody ever ends when they're on top.
Come out like 2048?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, So, and I'm not like that pissed because a lot of the time when they're like, we have 3 spinoffs in development, like they still have to make the pilot and the pilot has to get approved. So
yeah,
you never know there.
Mm-hmm.
But so next, the Watchmen trailer.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, this is awesome.
You guys can give your like opinions on it real quick.
I'll give DC credit where credit is due, and I love Watchmen. I love that movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Zack Snyder, he sucks, but he used to be really good, and that movie is amazing. And this trailer is surprisingly really good. Like, I am so excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually good. I rarely watch shows week by week. I'm not really a TV guy, but this is a show I'm definitely going to have to watch week by week. I think it just looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it also. I love Watchmen. That's probably one of the – nobody talks about it when they talk about really good superhero movies. It's super underrated. And I think it's just because Zack Snyder's name's attached to it, probably. But I think it's really good. Rorschach's one of like my favorite characters,
I love
superhero characters. He's awesome. He's so cool. So
he's
to see everybody in the freaking
Batman.
masks, oh, dude, it's so cool. He's such a cool character. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it looks awesome. The trailer's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So I thought the trailer was cool. Watchmen is like my personal favorite like comic book. I think it's one of the best comic book runs ever. The movie with Zack Snyder is amazing. The thing with the trailer is, so Ozymandias is the only actual Watchman that's in the trailer. He's played by Jeremy Irons in the TV show, because apparently it takes place like it's not a sequel to the movie, but it's a sequel to the comic book is what I was reading. Because I watched it and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, so apparently they're saying like the comic book ended in the 80s like it did or whatever, and this is like modern day. And my only thing is like, apparently it's going to focus on like these cops like trying to shut down the Watchmen, but like the only Watchman that's in it is Ozymandias, and it's kind of like, I'm like, if they made like a Justice League movie and like the only person in it was like Batman, is kind of how it feels to me. So like, I get it's Watchmen, but like, could they not call it something else? Like, not call it like, the Wrath of Ozymandias or something like that. Like, it's not
Sounds
Watchmen.
Sounds like a Gotham show with Watchmen.
Yeah, it's kind of what it seems like.
That's what I was thinking.
And it's not that I'm not excited for it. I'm just like, they're attaching the Watchmen label to it so that comic book fans will get excited and they'll be like, oh, a superhero thing. But I don't know. And maybe there's going to be like a crazy twist where Rorschach comes back. But like Rorschach, Dr. Manhattan, the comedian, like those guys are like the most popular Watchmen figures, and none of them are even like mentioned in the preview. I know that the people with the Rorschach masks, what kind of sense did you guys get? I kind of got the sense that yeah,
that's what it felt like.
It did.
I was getting those vibes.
I kind of got the sense
cool.
that like,
it's kind of
like all the groups or all the heroes kind of had their own like support groups a little bit. It seemed like their followings. So I don't know if it's going to be like, I don't know. I have no idea what it's going to be like. I'm excited. But like I said, just my only like beef with it is like, it's called Watchmen, but I don't know, because they tried to do this with, the graphic novel had some spin-off comic books that were like recently released, and people like absolutely hated them because they tried to do this type of thing. They tried to make them on like individual Watchmen stories or individual characters, or just in the Watchmen world without any of the Watchmen, and people like fucking hated it. So that's the only reason I'm a little nervous for this,
Great. Now I'm not excited anymore.
I mean, we'll never know until we actually see it. So
so next, Adam Sandler's return to SNL, which it was his first time hosting, which is crazy to me. Because he was on it from 90 to 95. That
surprises me.
I thought it was their best episode in a really long time, and I know the ratings were like unbelievable for it. It was their
still.
Yeah. And I like Adam Sandler. I know people roast him, but I'm like, dude, the guy knows how to make some money, and he's bliss, he doesn't care. Like, he's like, fuck. I was reading his movie deal with Netflix is like 8 movies over the course of like 6 years for $250 million. And like his comedy specials count as movies. Like he just released his comedy special. Yeah.
He also goes to places, like for his movies, I read an article, he will go to places and set his movies in places where he wants to go on vacation. Like where
yeah. Well,
so he's a good businessman.
I was watching an interview with him and Jimmy Fallon, and he was talking about how him and Jennifer Aniston have a new movie coming out this summer, and that was just his summer vacation last summer. Is him and his family were just in like Italy all summer on the beach just filming this movie. And like they were hanging out with Jennifer Aniston and stuff. So I think the dude just enjoys his life. I'm like, good for him, you know. The Chris Farley tribute, dude. That was awesome. Great. It was super cool because those guys were so close. I thought it was great, which wasn't his first time premiering that. I guess that's part of his new stand-up special.
It was on his special, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was really good. But yeah, I was reading something. It was the first SNL episode with no political content, like directly referring to the White House or like a political party in like 3.5 years or something crazy like that.
Wow.
And I'm like, I get the SNL, you know, is social commentary and all that, but like when you're doing it every week, it's kind of like, okay, you know, we get it. Alec Baldwin's funny as Trump. Like, you know what I mean? I just kind of feel like there's overkill with it.
I mean, it's no secret that SNL has been political since always, really. And always an impersonating the president. But it used to be funny when they did it. And now it's just not. Like, it's just all politics, no political satire, really. It's all about the message rather than the delivery of the message, which is the problem. So, that's why I think people are so burnt out on it.
Yeah. I think we're in a new stage too where I think it's kind of just with social media and everything. Like I think SNL used to be like all the cast members were like, we're really happy to be here, you know, and we're going to make the best show possible. And they were all kind of like a family. And now it kind of seems like people like Pete Davidson and like Kate McKinnon, like it kind of seems like just like a stepping stone to get casted in a movie or get a new.
I could see that.
Yeah, like I mean, Seth Meyers, you know, got the late night gig. Jimmy Fallon's on late night. Like I feel like people nowadays are just kind of like, oh, I'm going to boost my popularity and then go to a stand-up special and go get cast in like a movie.
Yeah. That's what they all do.
Yeah. Like none of them care how it is when they're on the show.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about these last 2 things on the TV shows, or you just want to move to movies?
I don't know anything about
What was the other one?
So, New Girl had their finale. I guess, like, Nick and Jess had a kid and got married. I stopped watching that show in, like, season 2. Major spoiler. And Titans, which is the Teen Titans show. I want to start watching it. It's just it's on like DC streaming.
I haven't seen it.
I'm not going to pay for that.
I heard it's good, but like I could care less to watch that. And I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good, but it just to me looks like shit, and it will never beat the animated show. So why even bother?
I agree, and I've heard it's good. I will never pay for DC streaming, and dude, I watched a clip. It's like CW, but so overly violent. Like Robin was like talking to some chick or something, and she was like, "Please!" And then someone came out of nowhere and just like shot her in the head, and like it showed the entire thing. And dude, it is so like overly graphic.
Because it's dark, bro.
Yeah. Did you see the preview for the first season where Robin like brutally kills someone?
Fuck
and he's
Batman.
Like,
fuck Batman.
Batman.
Was so funny. That was so funny.
And then my eyes rolled in the back of my head. Wow, this is the direction they're taking.
So the season 2, I kind of want to watch just to see how it is, because apparently Batman's gonna be the villain. They're like trying to take down a violent Batman.
Isn't that how the first season ended? Something like
yes, that? Yeah. And the whole second season is going to be focused on it. And they never showed Batman's face. And Batman's going to be played by the guy who plays Jorah Mormont in Game of Thrones. And I love him as an actor. And he's kind of older, so I think he's going to play kind of like an old, grizzled Bruce Wayne, which could be cool. So we'll see how that goes. That's kind of a fucking downfall from Game of Thrones to Titans on this service.
Oh, it could be amazing.
Yeah. So on to movies now. Did anyone here see Long Shot?
I did not.
No.
I didn't either. I think I'm going to this weekend. I love Seth Rogen, but
seeing Pikachu tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go see that, so we can do that next week.
That's just the only thing I've seen.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll probably see Long Shot and Pikachu. I read Long Shot was supposed to be pretty good. It's pretty genuine comedy.
I'm glad Seth Rogen's making good movies again.
Yeah, I agree.
On a downfall recently.
Yeah. So next is which trailers? Let's talk about the It trailer first.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Max, go ahead.
Yeah, Max, go ahead. You sent it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I grew up with that original TV movie. Like I used to watch it all the time. I just thought it was so cool. The kids stuff in the original TV movie was always the best stuff. And so when I heard that the new one was going to be just the kids, just for the first one of 2 chapters, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. Like I was sold on it because the kids stuff is the best. But then in the original TV movie, when you get to the adult stuff, it's just terrible. Like it is so bad. And that's why I'm a little worried, or was a little worried until I saw this trailer. I think this trailer is awesome. Like it actually sends shivers down my spine. It looks like, though, what they do with it actually portrays the elderly how they should be, which is horrifying. They actually
we should all be killed.
In the first movie, they do a lot where they have like stuff going on in the background that's creepy, and this trailer is literally just all that. And it almost looks like there's a scene where I didn't even notice the first time around where she's looking at the pictures on the wall and the old lady peers off the corner.
Oh, the head's like just there.
That's weird.
That
freaked me out. Like I had chills from that, and I thought that was brilliant. But it looked like somebody had photoshopped it in and out. Like if you watch it again, it looks like somebody like just photoshopped it in and out, like just the way it looks. But it still was creepy. They do that like 2-3 times. But
yeah,
that seems great.
Just based on that one scene, because in the original TV movie, when she does that, it's like terrible. Like she wears like this awful. The old lady wears like this weird looking mask.
I mean, it was so intense. It was so like oh my god.
It looks like they're gonna go into maybe more of the background of Pennywise, which I think is probably the smart move to do.
Yeah.
Because in the TV movie, they just kind of sit around and go, "Oh well, let's go get him." That's just it. And so I think if they delve into who he is and why he is what he is, I think that's probably the smartest thing they could do, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. I think it looks great.
What I loved about the first It, and I wasn't someone I'm kind of familiar with the story, but I never watched the TV movie or really read the book. But it's obviously like you can't take yourself too seriously with it. Like it's a clown with a balloon who goes around ripping kids' arms off and like hides in the sewer. Like the premise is kind of funny. And I loved with the first It, like I found myself like laughing out loud in the theater at some of the scenes. Like when he says, and he says something like, "Oh, how's your brother doing?" Like he's like roasting the kid for like killing his brother. Like I'm like, this is hilarious. Yeah. And he's like dancing, and I was like, this preview was freaky, but I laughed at like when she popped in and out. I was like, holy shit, like laughing. Yeah. And then when she went to the kitchen and was like dancing in the background because she was like happy that she was there to like kill her or something. I was like, oh my god.
It so good, man. I'm telling you, my faith in the film has been totally restored.
And I mean, you have people like James McAvoy, Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, who are all very serious actors who can all be really funny at the same time. Yeah. So I think it's going to be solid. But yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if nothing else, the cast is nuts. So even if I didn't like the first It, I would see it for that. But I do like the first one. I think it's awesome. And I think what Max said too, like you have your kids' storylines out of the way. So let's dive into the clown. Let's get a little bit deeper there. I think that will benefit the film a lot. It does look scary. It's the kind of scares, at least from this trailer, it's the kind of scares where you see it and you just smile because they're doing it right. Yeah. Like that's what I like. Like it's not, the trailer doesn't have the big wah and then everything goes blank and then there's a big blast of music. Like there's just little things going on in the background.
And then the title card.
Yeah, exactly.
It's every horror preview.
It feels like they're doing it right. I like that. I hope that is actually what the movie is, and it's not a bunch of like, because it looks creepy, and if it's not scary, that's fine. But I want it to be creepy. So if they stick with that and that tone, I think it'll be great. The actors are all good, so I'm sure there won't be any problems there. But I'm really excited now after seeing this trailer.
Do you guys know the what's the release date on it?
September, probably.
September 7th, maybe.
Might make a lot of money. Like, I know the first one did pretty well. I could see the second one making a lot.
Like the top grossing R-rated movie.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
Yeah. So next is the I felt like we had to put this on here. Probably the trailer of the year is the Sonic trailer.
Oh yeah.
Which I have never seen a trailer come out and then the next day a director put out a statement saying,
I'm sorry.
Oh, that was crazy. I couldn't believe that.
A good one, though.
Yeah.
They're actually doing that.
Yeah, he listened.
Yeah.
It's one of the cool things about social media, I guess.
I heard a lot of people talking about that, saying that because they weren't excited because the trailer obviously doesn't look that good, but the fact that the director saw what everybody was saying and then wants to make a change shows that they do kind of care, at least like a little bit, about like how Sonic looks and like what the people want. So we'll see. I don't think it looks great, but it at least makes me feel a little bit better that they're trying to make a good movie. But I don't know. We'll see.
It looks terrible regardless. Like, you know how many products they're gonna have to recall now because they probably have already Sonic.
Yeah. Well, the release date's this summer, right? Like, doesn't it come out this summer?
I'm not sure. They're gonna have a lot of people working.
Yeah, it's gonna be a recipe for disaster, dude. Like, it's in November, so they still have some time, but. Dude, changing like the main character in a movie, like
it's gonna
just
suck.
Animated, like that, we might be in for some like Henry Cavill mustache CGI type thing there. Like Sonic might come out as a 2D cartoon in that movie.
That would be great.
I can't imagine that movie making a lot of money anyway. Not that Sonic's not a popular character, but like
what's the fan base for it? Yeah.
I don't know how many people actually care. I just don't.
And I know I was reading something that said they kind of are like going to try to compete with the Pikachu movie, like not money wise, but kind of franchise wise. And I'm like, okay, if you went around the street and asked someone if they knew who Pikachu was, and then if they knew who Sonic was, like Pikachu is so much more like marketable than Sonic is.
Sonic Heroes, you know, this is going to build up to Sonic Heroes. How much you want to bet?
Oh God.
We'll see. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, I don't care either. Like his storyline, he just runs.
I know. Like, what do we collect coins?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not excited for it.
Say the same for me.
Next, big time preview. Not as much as I think it was hyped out to be, but it was still very cool. Is the Far From Home preview, which. Yeah, I thought was awesome. I don't know. There's a lot I want to talk about here. If you guys just want to go and like say like what stuck out to you, I'll see if you cover any of the things I was wondering.
I'll go ahead and just go then. Yeah. I thought it was awesome. I like endgame spoilers for everybody. I like how they're kind of diving into him and how he's taking Tony's death and how everybody's taking Tony's death. Sorry, Max.
No, don't bring it up.
Y'all mind if I snap?
I think that stuff is great.
That is just the funniest thing.
It's so great.
You have to interject that into the video.
Yeah.
It's just right there.
Wait, my son, please. I'm gonna be the one to do it.
That stuff's all really great. I think they're diving into his character a little bit more. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He's probably my favorite actor, so I'm really excited to see him as, I guess, a superhero is what he is. I thought he was a villain, but now he's a hero, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to be good, bad, and all in between. But the whole thing with the different universes and all that, we'll see how deep they actually get into all that. I do think they can go a lot of places because what do they have? X-Men now, and they have the Fantastic Four, so that could be a really interesting way of introducing other heroes, like, oh, this is the Fantastic Four, the Avengers from this dimension, etc. So that could probably the easiest way to introduce new characters without like making just a solo movie. We'll see. I don't know what they're going to do with all that, but just as the contained film, I hope that it doesn't get too crazy. I hope it stays as contained as it can, but I think it looks great. Jake Gyllenhaal, I want to see him a lot. I need him to be on screen a lot. If he is, I'm sure I'll love it, but I'm excited to see what they can do.
Oh boy. Yeah, for me, I mean, I remember the days when the Amazing Spider-Man movies were coming out, and then all the Avengers and MCU movies were happening. I go, God, Spider-Man's never going to be in the MCU. It's just never going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then it did. Like, I remember the day of the contract, I was like, oh, God. But, like, Sony had control of it all still. And it's kind of crazy now that he's probably going to be the face of the MCU now. I think that's
Thank God.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I really hope so.
Yeah, that's probably going to be their smartest bet because Spider-Man is just so damn popular. They've just absolutely rejuvenated the character.
Universally. Like, people love him in other countries, too.
Yeah, because, like, he's, like, the only one people care to bring back, honestly. Yeah. All the people that died, everybody was like, we got to bring back Spider-Man. And plus, he's so young, too, so you could easily, like, have him be in it for a while, too. And you should easily just have your most charismatic character be the new lead. Because it's like, I see people like, oh, he could be a new Iron Man. I hope they're not meaning it like because I don't want him to have the Iron Spider suit anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
It was cool in the crossover movies, but I want to see him be Spider-Man on his own without
the black suit looks sick, by the way.
Yeah,
sorry,
that looks pretty cool. I'm surprised at how good it looked.
We could do that without having Venom. Like, you could just have the black suit and it'd be badass without making Spider-Man.
I'm interested to see how that black suit fits into the storyline. Like, why does he need to be himself?
It looks cool, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm also, like, I guess they're making – it's going to be no surprise that Mysterio's a bad guy. But I'm only wondering that they're doing that because I guess they think Mysterio's not that popular of a character, or people don't know him because he hasn't been introduced before. I guess. I don't know. That's not going to be a surprise, but I've always thought, like, Mysterio's, like, one of his classic villains. Now, if it was, like, Doc Ock, if it was Doc Ock, you know, like, hey, I'm a good guy until I become a bad guy, then that'd be like, okay, we all know what you're doing. But I guess they're just hoping people don't know too much about Mysterio. I mean, just from his name alone, I would be a little suspicious, but oh well.
Yeah. I was watching, so I watched Kevin Smith break the trailer down. And he actually wrote, like, Mysterio comics for a while, so he knows a lot about the character.
Oh, really?
And he was talking about it, and he said he pauses it when Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury's like, he's from another world. Kevin Smith pauses it, and he's like, that's fucking bullshit. He's a fucking liar. And he was like going off. And he convinced me that, like, because everything I know about Mysterio is he's a con man. Like, he lies.
Yeah.
He's not a real superhero. It's all, like, effects. So Kevin Smith said, and I think this is probably going to be true, in my opinion, that there is a multiverse, there's other dimensions, and there probably have been people that have come, like, at that point. But Mysterio is probably from this Earth and is probably just saw his opportunity, and he's going to come up and be like, hey, I'm the Iron Man of Earth such and such. Like, I'll help you with problems. And I feel like that's kind of how it's going to be. Yeah. Like, because he's just a fraud. Like, that's everything about Mysterio. Yeah. So I feel like he's not actually from a different world.
That'll be the twist. That there actually are.
He may not be. Yeah.
Like in the after credit scene. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the one thing I was worried about. So I'm with you, Nolan. Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors.
Great.
But I was like, I love him, and he's a super facey dude. Why is he playing a villain who's mostly masked? And I think this storyline where he's kind of working with Nick Fury and Spider-Man is perfect because, like, he doesn't have to wear his fishbowl helmet all the time.
Yeah, like, there's the scene of them sitting in the bar talking. Yeah, like, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of character because I think what I have heard in interviews with Jake Gyllenhaal and some people from Marvel was that he had wanted to be in the MCU for a long time, but they'd offered him, like, however many whatever characters, and he didn't want to do any of them because he's, like, obviously, like, he's an actor, he's one of the best out there. And he didn't want to do it because he didn't feel like the characters were deep enough, and he just didn't want to portray somebody like that. And when he read the role for Mysterio, he said that he really liked it, that the character was deep, and he wanted to do something like that. So
Yeah.
I hope they dive into him and like give him a chance to actually act and
For
be
sure.
a great
villain. Which is why I think the storyline of him, kind of being the hero is like you can really kind of go in on. I mean, the best villains are the ones you can like resonate with and be like, oh, what he wants is kind of, makes sense. So, I like that his face is going to be shown, and just because he's such a good actor, like he's very versatile.
It'd be cool if they try and turn the tables and he tries to make Spider-Man look like the bad guy.
Yeah,
they could do so much. Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder if the elementals are even real or if they're kind of Mysterio's, like if he's kind of doing that and like can control them, so it looks like he's like a hero. Because
I'll keep going. Sorry.
And no, you're fine. I could see him just being like, doing it to like make Spider-Man look bad. Like Spider-Man can't defeat them, but Mysterio can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw it was one of the things somebody was talking. I don't even remember where I saw it, but it was kind of like a Syndrome in The Incredibles kind of thing where like he's not a hero, but he controls the bad guys and he's trying to be one. Like he wants to be the next Iron Man. He's like an egotistic prick kind of thing, which I think that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. The first Spider-Man had Vulture, who besides Thanos, in my opinion, he's the second best MCU villain, I think.
He was awesome.
Awesome. And I mean, dude, Jake Gyllenhaal is the second villain as Mysterio. Like, they could be awesome. Like, the two villains in these movies could be like two of the best in Marvel just in the Spider-Man movies, which is great because like, Spider-Man has such a good villain, like Rogues Gallery.
I think that's just going to have to be their thing now is the villains, because I feel like now, even after, like in a post-Thanos world, their main comparison is going to be, after a villain like Thanos, you have a throwaway villain. They just can't do that anymore because if they don't have a villain without meaning or at least some sort of threat to them, then it's wasted. So that's just going to have to be their thing now. It's just the villains. And I think that's a good idea to focus on the villains and make them bigger. I mean, that should be their plan from the start. But now that we've already established all of these heroes, we need to start bringing in just as good, if not better, villains. But I don't know if you can get better than Thanos. So.
Dude, if we get a Dark Avengers storyline where it's like Vulture, Mysterio.
It'd be so cool.
Throw in Matthew McConaughey as Norman Osborn, dude. It'd be awesome. Because like that whole thing,
really, that's said on that. Matthew McConaughey is
dude.
Osborn.
I think he'd be perfect as Osborn. I think he would be a great Green Goblin.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to see makeup.
Yeah,
I could see it. Yeah,
this is like he's like a little bit off. Stark. Yeah.
Just him in general.
Dude, just literally like don't even tell him you're recording. Just tell Matthew McConaughey to put on the suit and like just kind of
just shows up.
I swear to God, that's all True Detective season 1 is. I think they just put on a camcorder and were like, "Hey, just talk at the end of this table while drinking." He probably came up with the whole fucking storyline.
Really, seriously,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Have you seen True Detective season 1?
No, I want to. I really want to.
It is
so
good.
I've heard it's amazing.
It will make.
I've seen the house raid, the one-shot house raid, but that's all that I've seen.
Oh, that's amazing.
You want to be a detective?
Max,
I'll have to watch it.
So many of the comments he makes in that season, like he's sitting there. Woody's like, "Why do you have a cross above your bed?" He's like, "Oh, I like contemplating on the way Jesus felt going to his crucifixion." Woody Harrelson's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there are times you really like get on Woody Harrelson's like side because you like, God, Russ is just weird.
Yeah,
he just says the weirdest things, and you're like, that's why the show's so good because you like Matthew McConaughey's character because he's so weird, but then you like Woody Harrelson's character because he's dealing with this absolute freak. But they're both good at their jobs. That's why I could go on about that show.
He's got some parts in it, dude. That like he's got another one that's just like Woody Harrelson's like, "What's your problem with religion?" And he's like, "Sorry, I don't find it in my interest to be racing to a red light." And Woody Harrelson's like, "God fucking damn it!" Like he's always so pissed.
Nolan, you have to start that show. Like,
yeah, it's
so what's it on?
HBO.
Where can I see it?
HBO.
You're lagging, Nolan.
Start a trial.
Hello.
There you go.
All right, I got you. I'll start a trial.
You have to. You'll finish
dude, that's one of I was gonna say that's one of those shows you'll just keep on and you're like, fuck, it's done.
Yeah, my dad finished that in a day.
Yeah,
I gotta watch this show.
And
really?
it's the reveals in it. The reveals in it. You're like, holy shit! Like
people have problems with the last episode, and it's like I love the last episode.
Oh yeah, I think it's amazing.
Things ever, yeah. And season 2, you don't really. It's okay, and then season 3 is not bad too. There's some good stuff.
The thing with True Detective is like that show scares me much more than movies like It or The Conjuring, because I'm like, this shit's like real. Like there's people like this somewhere, like abducting children and starting these cults and stuff. And I'm like, it's scary shit.
It gets crazy.
Yeah,
it's chilling. The last like 2 episodes, especially like when they're watching the VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
it's fucked, dude.
Yeah.
Also, it started.
One of the cool things, Nolan, is it takes place over 3 different time periods, so it's a really good way of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
I'll have to watch it. We
can sign off on that. That can be our last little topic.
That is my absolute recommendation. Yeah, and season 3 is like that too, and it's also pretty good.
Yeah,
so season 3 is worth it. Then you would say probably 2. Do you need to see season 2 to see season?
No,
okay.
No. It's like
actually, season 3 would make more sense if you watch season 1, but season 2 is not really. They were like, okay, let's not do that again.
Season 2 is like Terminator 3. Just be like, that didn't happen.
Yeah. Genesis. Oh, wasn't there supposed to be a trailer drop for the new Terminator movie?
Yeah, there wasn't. Yeah.
That happened.
Great.
Yeah, good sign. Good sign.
Fuck, what's the movie called? It's something funny again. Hang on. It's called Dark Fate. Terminator Dark Fate. Like the titles, dude. I swear it's just like Dark Fate, like Genesis. Like, what do these titles even mean? Like literally, like they have no meaning.
Yeah, I'll give bad movies in the movie theater like the time of day. Like I'll actually pay attention. But like Terminator Genesis was just so bad. I was just bored out of my skull.
Bad. Dude, it was rough. I will say,
good.
Yeah. I mean, Terminator 3 is like watchable.
Okay.
Salvation, like with all the problems they had behind the scenes, like it's not a good movie, but it's like I can't believe this movie is as good as it is. With like, I mean, Christian Bale like attacked like a fucking lights guy on that set, like the director.
Oh no, I remember
Mick G or whatever didn't even want to be
like
doing
calmed
it.
Down.
Yeah. So I don't know. Terminator franchise.
There's too many. Yep, end it.
Yeah. So, all right, and we'll end the show.